Welcome to Reddily.
On today's episode, Natalia Sokolova 2525 says,
I have a neurological disorder called prosopagnosia that makes me completely unable to recognize faces. Ask me anything.
Do you recognize your family members' faces?
No, and I never have.
I've never heard about this before. Tell me, how does it feel? How have you dealt with it?
Honestly, it's weirder for me to think that other people aren't like me. The best way I can describe it is that, for me, faces are kind of like an etch-a-sketch. If I look at someone for long enough, I can begin to make out their features and see what they actually look like, but if I look away for too long, the whole image refreshes and I can no longer picture or recognize them at all. I deal with it mostly by looking for features in people that are recognizable to me, like if they have a mole on their face, or their hair color and style.
I'm trying to think of an analogy to better understand what it looks like to you when you see faces. When I go to the zoo and look at the monkeys, I can't really tell them apart by their faces. They look too similar. But I can tell if one of them is smiling or has longer hair or something. Is this what it seems like to you? You can still see the face, but all faces kind of look the same?
Yes, very much like this.
My sister Sarah used to always say, "Hi, it's Sarah," every time she called. One day I asked her if she was telling me who it was because she thought I wouldn't recognize her voice, and she said, "You can do that?" Turns out my sister made it to almost 50 years of age not realizing that other people could recognize people by the sound of their voice. Yep. My sister is voice blind.
I think it's kind of funny that you went almost 50 years before asking her.
Do you remember when you first realized you had something unusual going on? Did someone have to point it out to you, or did you figure it out on your own?
I've never known anything else, so I didn't know anything was different until I was probably about 8 or 9 and my friends made me realize it wasn't normal. During this time, the girl who had been my best friend for years got a drastic haircut, from quite long to a pixie cut, and she completely disappeared to me until she, who after the haircut I'd assumed was a new student, asked me why I'd been ignoring her. I then realized that her hair had been the only thing that had actually been recognizable to me. From then on, it was strange to find out that other people actually used faces as their main feature in order to recognize people.
Do you develop crushes/physical attractions to people?
I can, and have. I have had a boyfriend for 2 years now, and I am physically attracted to him. However, I can't develop physical attraction to people quickly or at a glance. I would have to look into their face for some time. If I look into someone's face for long enough, I think I can see what they look like, but if they look away for a moment, the image completely collapses and I forget the face. I could never recognize a stranger on the street as being physically attractive as most people could.
Do you use other visual cues for recognition?
Yes, mostly hair and clothing. If I am seeing a friend or family member, I look for features such as hair, skin tone, body shape, etc. first, then I memorize exactly what they are wearing in order to find them throughout the day.
Have you ever tried painting self-portraits/portraits of people? I heard that it can help people with and without prosopagnosia understand each other's perspective.
I've actually never done this. Thanks for the suggestion. I'll try it out and see what happens.
As an artist with a very mild case of this, it definitely helps.
Does it affect watching movies? Do you easily get lost on who's who?
Yes. If two characters have similar features that I can recognize, for example if they are both Caucasian with similar length brown hair, I will not be able to tell the difference between them. In fact, most of the time, I won't even realize they are two separate characters, and I will assume they are the same person, which is often very confusing.
This may be the stupidest question ever, but does it only apply to human faces? Or like your dog's face as well?
Not a stupid question. It's only human faces. Weirdly, I can actually recognize my dog quite easily among other dogs who look just like him.
So what is it like looking in the mirror? I mean, since it's you standing in front of the mirror, you know it is you, but does it still feel like looking at a stranger or friend? Since you would remember your hair and shape of your face, but not your face itself.
Yes, it's pretty much exactly like that. The person in the mirror is a total stranger to me, but I've learned to deal with it. It's kind of like looking at a stranger dressed up as you.
I'm sorry if this is a dumb question, but could you recognize your own face in a picture?
Not a dumb question at all. I can probably recognize myself in a picture, but only by recognizing my clothing and hair. If you showed me photos of 5 people who were all wearing the same outfit and were all Caucasian with brown hair around my length, I would be completely unable to tell you which was me.
Can you recognize cartoon drawings of humans? Would 2 white, male, brown-haired cartoon characters seem like the same character?
I don't think so. Facial features are simplified in cartoons, and often drawn differently between characters. It's only real human faces I would have a problem with.
This was really interesting. Did you even know about prosopagnosia? Share your thoughts in a comment.
Thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe to the channel so we can keep growing. See you soon.